Welcome to Home Buying 101, where rule number one is happy wife equals happy life. I'm Jeff Jimenez.
And I'm Michelle Jimenez. I'm the happy wife.
And that is why I have a happy life.
And congratulations to you for taking the first step in going forward on your home search and home journey. We're so excited to go forward and be your guides. I wanted a new construction house. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember you wanting a new construction house. And I thought you were crazy because we had to pay for all the house, all the fence and everything else. I just wanted a house that we could have and not be house poor in.
I know, but I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about the interest rate. Like, I just wanted a big house that everything was done. And honestly, like, it had space for our family and it was just perfect.
Yeah, I get that, but really what did we need? All we needed was like 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a basement or garage, a gas stove, a formal dining room, and your pantry was really what we ended up only needing.
I know, but we were always on different pages, and when we were on different pages, we ended up like fighting so much because I wanted new construction, you didn't care about new construction, you wanted more space. Like, who even knows what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, that's why it was so important to do a needs versus wants list. We needed to get on the same page, so this way when we went out, it was like a science project. We had a hypothesis, we had a conclusion, we got some start to finish. Because you know me being a high D, I didn't care about the fluff. I just wanted to go out, find the house, put the offer in, and go to close.
Yeah, it really made it so much clearer for us when we sat down in the apartment and we really figured out what we absolutely needed. We were super specific, and then what we wanted to have.
Yeah, and at the end, I think the needs versus wants list is the best place you could possibly start to before you actually even do anything, before you talk to anybody or do anything. Get on the same page with your spouse or your significant other, just so that you guys know that you're a unified force going in it and that you're not fighting throughout the whole process. Because as you and I know, it is not a very easy process, but with the right team in place, it can be.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll admit it, Jeff. I totally jumped the gun when we started looking at houses. I mean, I just saw houses online. They looked so nice. We both worked so hard. Yeah. I felt like we could go out. We could probably get a mortgage, like whatever. We'll just go, we'll see the house. If we like it, we'll put in an offer. So literally, I would call up agents. I'd be like, let's get in this house. I'd drag you around. We'd go see the houses. We loved it. And then like, when we'll go to put an offer in, like, we don't have enough money. And I was like, what on earth?
The famous question the real estate agent would ask is, how much were you planning on putting down? And
I was like, well, you know, like, how much does it cost? 5%, 2%, I don't know, $1,000, is that enough?
No, it's not, right? So realistically, we eventually learned, right, that we needed money for the down payment. We needed to have some savings, right? But obviously, in the world we live in today, it's not the easiest thing to save money, right?
No, it wasn't.
It was hard, it was really hard,
right?
Hard. So we ended up what? We ended up going to CDC, right? And we were like, let's see if we could, there's some stuff out there for first time home buyers. So we went out to CDC. There had to be, right? So we went out and we did, and then what happened? We got the, sorry you don't qualify, right? But at the end of the day, we did find something. What did we find?
We found a money match program, which was good. It was like you put in, for every dollar you put in, they would give you $4 more. And at the end of 10 months, it was 10 months, so you couldn't touch any of the money, but you could keep it in there. And at the end of 10 months, you get $7,500 plus our $2,000, so it's like $9,500. So that was a big chunk that we were able to use towards the down payment.
But we were also able to make sacrifices along the way, and we made those sacrifices by what? Eliminating, I remember I had,
like you had like bring your lunch, no coffee.
Yeah, to bring my lunch. I didn't stop at 7-Eleven. I didn't stop at 7-Eleven for my coffee when I was out on the road. So there was a lot of different changes we had to do in order to obtain that goal of home ownership.
Yeah, we literally probably saved every penny. We would cut like coupons and stuff. Yeah, we made a lot of sacrifices. And the biggest one is I had to stop looking at houses. I had to stop window shopping. I couldn't even look on the internet until at least I had $15,000 in the bank. I had like write in my journal, do not look at houses until you have $15,000 in your bank.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy at the time, but like, it was really what I needed to do, 100%.
It made my life a lot easier.
Yeah, so we didn't have to go running out of houses all weekend for no reason.
Sunday football again. Yes. But at the end, moral of the story is that plan to save and save to plan, right? It's like you have to save the money, right? You have to be there. No, you're not going to be able to go and buy a house with zero money. It's not going to happen. You're not buying a car.
But like on TV and in the movies, it totally says it. And it says like the sellers could pay your closing costs and all this stuff. So I thought like we could totally do that.
And then reality smacked you in the face.
Yes, it did. Okay. So, Jeff, we saved the money.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go get a house now.
How much house can we afford?
Well, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I think we paid like $2,100 for rent, maybe. I don't.
All right. I'm going to break out the realtor hat right now, and we're going to get down to business. So, let's go over this. So, there's a big difference in how much house you can afford versus how much you want to pay a month. Okay. Your monthly payment consists of some major items, more than just your mortgage payment. It's your escrow for your taxes and your homeowner's insurance. It's your PMI insurance. It's your MIP insurance. There's multiple different, those are the major components. So when we talk about going and looking at a house, we need to know more than just how much house we can buy. We need to know how much you can afford on a monthly basis. We need to know how much taxes that equates to. And then we'll be able to put this kind of like scientific equation together. It's pretty cool because, you could look at a house with $12,000 in taxes and be approved for $300,000 with $12,000 in taxes, and you could look at that same $300,000, that same house with $12,000. That same $300,000 house with $7,000 in taxes, and then compete and bid up to $350,000 or $340,000 because
your taxes are lower.
Your taxes are lower. So the tax is going to play the major part, more so than that. But what else is? We need to respect your budget. We need to stay in what you feel comfortable paying on a monthly payment.
So what do we do?
What do we do? Well, the next step is to get in touch with a local lender and get pre-approved.
Okay, because I'm not pre-approved right now, and I don't really know anything about the taxes or anything like that. So
which is normal. Most first-time homebuyers wouldn't.
Okay.
So, are you ready to go and speak to one of my professionals that we have that built?
Oh, why don't I just go to my bank? I bank right up the road.
Well, you can definitely go right up the road to one of the banks that are on the corner. Absolutely, if that's what you'd like and you have a relationship there. But they may not offer all the first-time homebuyer programs that some of our preferred lenders may offer you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I worked really hard on saving the money, so I would love to see what they can offer me.
Well, let's get started on getting pre-approved.
Okay. So Jeff, I remember when we first started out, I had a banking background, so I did a lot of like lending, and I kind of understood paperwork that was needed, time frame that you need to get it in. But I know when you're first buying a home, it's definitely could be intimidating, and you don't really know exactly what you need to do, or even how you get pre-approved. So how would you go about that?
That's a great question. I get asked a lot. So you need to go and you need to get in touch with someone that can help facilitate you and get you to the right people, right? And it's someone preferably that has a team built around them. But the importance of your pre-approval is just the same as the importance as a soldier and his ammunition, right? So think about you're a soldier, you're getting ready to go out on night patrol, and you get all the way to the battlefield, and you go to shoot your gun, and you got no bullets. You left them back at the base. So what good are you?
I guess you're
not. You're a sitting duck, right?
Yeah.
You're a sitting duck, right? Well, if you think about it, when your pre-approval is like your ammunition and you're like the gun, right? Okay. When you're out looking for a house, if you don't have that pre-approval, you can't shoot off an offer. So if you can't shoot off an offer, what are you doing? You're just kicking tires and window shopping, right?
Window shopping like I was doing before.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important to have a pre-approval.
So Jeff, how do we go about doing this? Do I call the lender? Why? What do I do?
Well, the best thing I can say is, in order to get a pre-approval, is you get in touch with the local real estate agent. Local real estate agent's going to hopefully know what direction to point you. Who have a book of contacts, have everybody that's ready for you to get that pre-approval underway, all right? They're also gonna know if there's any first-time home buyer programs available for you, or if there's any incentives for you for buying a house maybe in that area, or anything along those lines. And really, that starts with the team that you associate yourself with.
All right, so if I went with the Jimenez team and we talked to our local lenders, what do you need for a pre-approval? How does it work? So
that's amazing, right? So in order to get pre-approved, right, the way we do it on the Jimenez team, it's very simple, all right? We set up a Zoom call with you and one of preferred lenders, because now with the world and the way it is. We used to go and sit down at a table, but now we do it virtually. And actually, to be honest with you,
it works out better. I
it
think.
saves a lot of time for our clients, for our bank, for everyone involved.
Because now, do it at home.
Now you can sit in the comfort of your home and you have all that information that you're going to need, which is, okay? Because there are some things that we're going to need for you when we do that Zoom call.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing we're going to need is your last 2 years of tax returns.
Okay.
Then we're going to need your last 2 years of W-2s.
Okay.
All right. And then
maybe pay stubs or something?
W-2s or your 1099, depending on if you're self-employed or not.
Okay.
You know, it could be profit and loss maybe if you have your own business. All right. Your last 2 pay stubs, 2 months of your bank statements, and your social security number. Yes, I know. You're going to have your credit ran. I know, it's scary. Everybody gets worried about this, right? But here's the thing. If you don't have your credit ran, then guess what's going to happen? We're going to put an offer in. You're going to get an accepted offer. We're going to go and we're going to spend $500 to $550, sometimes even $1,000 on a home inspection, depending on what size house you're buying. And then we're going to go to contract. You're going to put your down payment down. The bank's going to start your application. And then guess what's going to happen?
I don't know.
They're going to tell you don't qualify.
But we save the money. Like, we have money, we have jobs.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. If you didn't run your credit, guess what could have came up that you may have forgot about? You may have had that Sprint bill or that AT&T bill that you didn't pay that's sitting in collections. Or you might have some
What about a red light ticket?
Oh yeah, we had someone that had $10,000 in red light tickets.
Oh my gosh.
So these are all things that you want to get out in front of before you go out there and start putting out offers. So that's why it's key to make sure that you're ready to have your credit ran, your credit checked, and then find out. Now here's the thing. Even if maybe your credit's not in the best shape, that's okay. Because guess what? Your real estate agent, an agent like myself, and the lender are going to be able to work with you to help you get your credit to a point where you'll be able to buy. That's
great. I mean, I think when we first started, it took us we had a lot of planning to do. We couldn't just buy right away. We had a plan.
Yeah,
so this is wonderful.
This is all part of it, right? So what I tell all of my clients is very simple. Look, we're going to go through this process together. That's why I'm on the call with you when we do this buyer consultation. That's why we go and we're part of the pre-approval process. So this way, when we're out in the field, we know the limitations of your pre-approval. Right? So we're high touch, we're in front of you, we're involved. We're not just sending you off to a bank and saying, call us after you get pre-approved. Gotcha. So we're actually gonna literally hold your hand from the very, very first phone call all the way and beyond the closing table.
That's so much better than our people. That's so much better than our experience.
Yeah, well, our experience was a little bit different, right? We didn't even hear from our agent after we went to contract.
No.
And our lawyer, I don't think we heard from him until we called him and said, how come we're not closing? We have a commitment, right?
Yeah.
So it was very different. So what's nice is that that's part of the reason why I got into real estate, right? Part of the reason why I said there has to be an easier way for buyers. There has to be an easier way for this process. And the one true way to make it easy for someone is to literally have someone to literally walk you through every step by your hand from start to finish.
That's awesome. All right, so we have money saved, we have a pre-approval, and we have a team behind us. It was super exciting. I mean, for us, I know it didn't really fall into place like that. That's really the ideal world. I remember when we started looking at properties, it was kind of upsetting because we're on a budget and we were looking at whatever we could afford, but I felt like everyone kept pushing us and it felt impossible, I remember.
Well, I mean, I remember what I did. I remember that feeling. I remember we had been out 4 or 5 weekends in a row. Now, mind you, we did also leave our apartment. We moved back into my mom and dad's house, which was another disaster.
It helped. It helped in the time frame.
Helped, right? It helped save money. Okay, so it did help a little bit. But I remember what I did is I went on and I looked for everything that was in our as best I could to find the houses that fit our price range, fit our wants and our needs list as best as they could, and was close to our monthly payment.
Yeah.
And I remember at that same time, that one real estate agent that just never showed us houses, but always followed up with us just the right time, she texted me. And I sent her all the houses. I said, you get me in these houses, I'll buy one of them this weekend, right? Remember that?
I do.
And she did. She got us. I said, you eliminate the ones that don't and the ones that work. And I said, let's come up with it. And she came back with 10 houses, right?
Yeah. I think before we even did that, I think we went shopping. And I'm pretty sure your mom came with us. And we brought other people. But that was crazy, bringing all these people with us looking at houses. And they weren't buying the house with us. You and I were making the decision.
Yeah,
but
I do remember that.
we had so many people put their input in and like tell us, oh, the living room should be here or this should be there. And I was like, this is crazy.
Well, you're right. That was the way it used to work, right? Now with COVID, it doesn't work that way anymore, right? Mom and dad aren't allowed to come with you, right? They're not allowed to come to the inspection.
It might be better off.
They're not allowed to come to the final walkthrough. Mom and dad are not allowed to come because they only want the people that are pre-approved
on going to be buying
or the people
the
that are
house.
going on the contract or the deed to be in the home, right? And that's not us, that's from the state.
Yeah.
So right now, that's out of this. But yes, at the end of the day, you have to always keep in mind that it's always great to have your family's input, but who's the one that's paying the mortgage?
Well, we are. We saved the money, we have the jobs, we're working.
So at the end of the day, their input really doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I think we came to terms with that, and that was great. I mean, I do know there was compromises too. We do have to compromise. I mean, we wanted a lot. That's where we went to that needs versus wants. I remember walking into our home, and I thought like the movies. You would just fall in love with the house, and like, oh, the diamonds would come out, and like that special music would be playing, and be like, this is the house. And like, we walked in and it was a great house. It had the dining room I wanted, which was exciting. It had a nice gas stove that you wanted. And then like, I just thought the backyard wasn't big enough. So I was a little, I didn't think it was really the house. And I remember walking out and you're like, do you want to make an offer? And I was like, okay.
Well, see, the exact opposite happens for me because I remember exactly that day. I had Buffy, our pug, on my lap, and we drove up to the last house of the day.
Yeah, it was
and
like number 10 on the list.
It was Sunday. It was Sunday. And I pulled up in front of the house. I said, wow. I said, this house has your dining room, has your pantry, has my gas stove, and a basement. Pretty much checks all the boxes. It also had the 2 baths and the 4 bedrooms, right? And that 4th bedroom was kind of an extra bonus to us, right?
Yeah.
We wanted only 3, but we got the 4. But it didn't have my garage. Right? It didn't have the tremendously big backyard, but it had a decent sized backyard. And what was really important to me was that it was close to the marina for that boat I was going to save, and I was saving up for it since I was 18 to get, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I felt it when I walked in, but even though you didn't, but again, we both made compromises, right? We made compromises. It wasn't the brand new construction.
No, it wasn't.
It didn't have the garage, right? It wasn't in our most exact area that we wanted.
No, but I mean,
was
it was everything.
under budget.
Yeah.
It was under budget. It was below the monthly payment that we wanted.
It was at least the 2 bathrooms that we needed to have because we had an apartment with 1 bathroom and I just couldn't do it. We needed 2.
So at the end of the day,
it was everything we needed, and we got a couple of extra wants, kind of.
We got a couple extra things, but at the end of the day, what was nice about it was that even though what seemed to be hard and seemed to be a hard thing, there was an end in sight. It was just persistence and perseverance to overcome and to be able to really look deep down inside of us to really go back to that very first step of doing the wants versus needs this.
Absolutely.
And making compromises to see it through to the very end.
It really helped because once we had the clarity, like...
Well, it goes back to the 3 rules. It goes back to the 3 rules of real estate.
What are the 3 rules?
Price, condition, and location. You get to pick 2, and the market's going to tell you the 3rd.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
That's it. Okay, so let's go over everything and summarize everything for you. Okay. So, the first thing that we needed was our needs versus wants list.
Yeah.
It is imperative to get on the same page to make sure that you know exactly what you need versus what you want. And be ready to make compromises, especially in the market that we currently are in today. It's very competitive and it's very, very driven by that needs versus wants list. Yeah. Number 2 is make sure you save money. You may find money in certain places too. You can find money through your 401k, maybe through your retirement plan, but key is to make sure that you're saving money. There is no way you are going to buy a house with 0 money out of your pocket. It does not work. So you have to save some money. And step 3 is find a team. Find a local real estate agent that's in the network, in your network, maybe comes by referral, or someone that you've been following on social media that can help you, that has a team of people behind them that's tried and proven with great reviews to help you through this process. They should be holding your hand from start to finish, from first phone call to closing table with keys in hand. All right? Now, step number 4 would be to get pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, now you can go and go shopping. You know how much you can buy, you know how much you want to spend a month, and you know your limitations. Now, this is great. You're ready. It's the fun time, my favorite part. Now we find your house. That's when, in this market, we're gonna become very, very aggressive. We're gonna make sure that we're putting our best offer in first. We're not gonna waste any time with lowball offers that are not gonna get accepted. So we're gonna be prepared to put our best offer in, and we're gonna move quickly because houses are off the shelf. All right, now we found your house, we've got an accepted offer. Your next step before signing a contract would be your home inspection. Your home inspection is gonna happen. And what happens with that home inspection is you're gonna go through the house and you're gonna make sure there's no structural major defects with the structure, with the plumbing, with the electrical system. We're not gonna nitpick. We're not buying a new construction house, but we're gonna go through the house and we're gonna make sure that it's a safe and sound investment. Once everything's been negotiated, maybe you renegotiate some repairs or some things need to get fixed, and then we come to terms, and now it's time for you to go and sign a contract. Okay. At that time, Michelle, you're gonna sign this contract. That's when you're gonna need to put that down payment down, right? That's what binds the contract and shows the seller that you're committed to this process and you're gonna buy their house. Okay. They're happy. This is the time that we celebrate because I call this about halfway there, all right? So now the fun starts gonna happen. And that's when your real estate agent is kind of gonna go to a little bit to the backseat, but he's still gonna be there every step of the way. He's gonna be checking in on you. He's gonna be checking in with your banker. He's gonna be checking to make sure that you're getting the bank everything you need when your process is starting for your application. He's gonna also work with your processor for the loan to help make sure that you are getting the fastest and best service. And then guess what the final step is?
What's that?
It's a clear close. And you get keys in your hand. So the last and final step is when the bank says you're clear to close. At that point in time, you're gonna do some little minor stuff. You're gonna transfer utilities. You're gonna get everything down. Everybody's happy. We're celebrating. We're scheduling final walkthroughs. We're going through the house one more time, and then you're going. And I hope you did those hand exercises we went over, and you're ready to sign your life away because you're gonna sign a lot. So that is the buying process. Now, if anyone out there has more questions, and obviously our contact information is right down below, feel free to reach out and we're always here to help. Did you like what you heard today?
Do you want to learn more?
Then you need to follow us at Jeff and Michelle.